It's funny. Just 2 seconds ago, they tried to mess with me with. I'll probably make a video about that. It's funny how you know, they want me to be subscriptive. If anything, the more they do this, the more validated I feel. There was this picture of this 14-year-old kid who pretended to be kidnapped, and you see she's kind of weird looking kid. And for a second, it took me a second to just kind of look at her and see her for the kid that she is. But they were trying to create the perspective of some kind of like adult, like she's just a weird looking kid, and it's sad. That's what they do. But they're gonna try to make me look at kids in different sexual ways. It's the nasty things they do. It's the foulest things they do. But you gotta understand, they have these tactics of breaking people down, and when I say they is the program that is what we are in as target individual. At this point, is worth saying that this is obviously a program that is full of research and development of this technology, this weapon that can manipulate you, that can break you down. And they want to break you down and recreate you in different fashion. And they break you down using these disturbing tactics, then reconstruct you in different ways, right? And they want you to accept this new reconstruction, and as if it's you naturally. It's so disturbing, and your whole ecosystem is surrounding you with trying to make you accept these things. You gotta be strong. Now they're even utilizing torture, like physical torture. They're doing things to my stomach because they want me to accept something that's falsified. And you hear this bottom feeder try to talk in this menacing voice, and now you pay, and they crank up, and I can feel the pains and whatever. I know it's gonna come through, but I think it makes them. They don't like the fact that not only I'm not subscribing to it, I speak about it, and I make sure that I say the same thing that's gonna cause me more pain. It's like you think this is what's gonna stop me from like speaking about it. Let me say that again, because I understand death is coming to all of us. This is not death is the one thing we have in common at this point. And I'd rather die this way than having to do what they do. Can you imagine trying to torture somebody into accepting manipulation that you've created to make him experience that, so he can accept this new persona they've created? That's the nastiest way to live. And then they try to use the tonalities. These tonalities that are humiliating. A grown man is literally making himself sound a certain way in order to get you to accept this BS. I can imagine myself being in his shoes and be like, now you pay. It's you. Now you're gonna. And because I speak like that, so I can make you accept this new perceptions of and how you're being manipulated in these disturbing pedophilia ways. Now, in this specific video, I want to talk about my memory manipulation. I've talked about so much of it, right? I'm continuously will do it. I don't care about having the same videos over and over. It's not going to change anything. But when they see me in person, when they they notice that I know that they make themselves sound a certain way, now you pay. It's you. We watch. I was like, listen, does it not sound like you? Don't you feel stupid when you speak like that? You're just a low-life bottom feeder for these pedos. Go through your scripts. We know who's the pedos. This picture you see here, right, on this side, is a little girl. This little girl is the daughter of this. This guy is my friend. Used to be my friend. And I remember when we were about in our early 20s, he started dating this girl, and this girl he was dating had this child, and now it's his child. And when she was a baby, very adorable little girl, the way they tried to make me remember this memory is, she was very adorable little girl, and I remember seeing, the first time we saw her, it's like, oh, she's very and they tried to change this memory with stimulation they make me experience today. They have the ability to go into your memories and change it and make you experience a new version of memory with whatever stimulations, if they want to, perception, if they want to. They had all kind of narrations where they even make me imagine you wanted to be alone with this little girl. I was like, it's just nasty. But that came a little bit after, but earlier it was just the stimulations, and it just continuously got more nasty and more nasty. But what's continuously going is with the stimulations. And they try to have this battle back and forth. At this point, I know, what is the point for me to even try to create a battle with something I cannot control? They can control my memories. I know it's falsified. That's all I can do. So accept that these people have full control of memories, and they can create even illogicalness and rationality that's almost on the spectrum. You hear these people try to sound a certain way. See, it won't be, it's not fair. It's you. It's just like, listen, I know you do these things. And they do things to my stomach and try, yes, I know this is what this technology does. I know you want me to accept these false memories. I know you're going to go through your scripts. I know you're going to say the same thing over and over. I know you're going to try to sound menacing. I understand what you do. It's because what you make me experience today is something that you've done to others, but you want to make it seem like this is something I felt before. And before that, they were doing that when I was a child, a really young child, 13, 14. So let me see, if they try to find ways to implement that when I'm older. I'm older, when I'm like a young adult. They try to implement it in this moment. As much as I can feel it today, because this is what it makes me feel. I know it's a falsified reaction. It's not something I reacted to in this way before. They do the noise campaign. They try to make you accept. You just gotta be strong in knowing reality. They are creating a false reality. They are making you create false memories. And I remember when this was happening, because this guy, this person, he's a perp. They would make me have memories and make me think of the little girl here, and give me the stimulation. And he would call me when it happened, like even like 12 in the morning or something, to just like to intensify, make me feel more like, oh my God, like it's such a game, a theatrical performance, that they want you to accept these things. And so they would do that, and I'm like, oh, imagine this is when this is new to me, right? I don't know how they can manipulate memories in this level. I'm thinking that slowly I start figuring out, oh, they're doing things, they're changing things around me. No. And then to the point where I was like, oh, for sure, this is what they do. This is the things that make me experience things like that, even in my memories. I don't, and I got validation when I heard somebody say that. Or multiple people who say they can retrieve your memories and they can put personality in your memories, right? They can create things added to your memories. And I was like, that's okay, that's it. And they're like, oh, that's proof. You see, yes, you have proof that you can manipulate my memories. I know what you've done. I know what you're doing. That's what you're doing. You don't live off. These people are just, people who try to make you accept the manipulations. It's gaslighting on another level. Is to try to make you doubtful of something that is falsified, and accept this false reality. And in my head, they even have logic like, oh, but it was so early on. Well, we didn't start changing memories until like later on, like things like that. Those are like legit, like back and forth logic in my brain. And they were literally doing things to they make me think of this new version of my memory and crank this thing. And they try to have this battle. Just think about this little girl. Like, it's never going to happen. I will never have a normal perception of my memory anymore. It's going to have some kind of stimulation, some kind of perception that is falsified. That is going to be disturbing. This is how life is. I understand. I understand the reality. They are trying to create a false reality, which includes false memories. This is not the first time they do this. It's not going to be last time, but they have done that to many other memories later on, even when I'm older. This was one of the first things they did. Now they're going back to it, try to come up with a way to make me subscribe to these pedophilia things they make me do, because their argument is like, but remember when you were 14. So that sounds so childlike, illogical to think that I'm a 30-some-year-old, you tell me that's how I felt when I was a kid. So let's think about when you're an adult and to create the false memory. And so you see, there you felt it, you see. It's falsified. To all my target individuals, do not subscribe to these false memories.
Able to impose any information on the brain of a person, presumably by some kind of waves, which in the mind take the form of voices, thoughts and images in imagination. In addition to this kind of implanting information that they need, they manipulate the psyche so that the information is written into your memory. Then by stimulating the certain regions in the brain, they can retrieve this information and present it as your own memory. This is the conclusion that can be made judging by the influence they have been making on me with their psychotronic weapons, for example artificial thoughts, imagination, and mental torture.
They're trying to take over my mind, putting thoughts of pedophilia. It's disgusting. They take this whole thing into account so much and make it so dramatic. It is dramatic. It's somebody trying to end my life. It's somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind, putting thoughts of pedophilia. This disgusting, disgusting, disgusting things. You saw where I was going with that first word. Disgusting things that I don't even want to talk about because it makes me sick. I don't even like those words in my mind. But it is what it is. So I have no choice now but to acknowledge that there are people in my surroundings or whatever they're doing. I don't know how they do it. I don't care. I don't know if it's through weapons. I don't know.
I can be free from this torture. Every day has been a miracle of survival. I also experience what is referred to as malodorance. This is the alteration of the smell sensation so that I am often made to smell various things, including smoke, burning, dirty diaper, or baby powder, which they sometimes combine with the pedophilia type of torture, including the threat of planted dreams and videos in my closed eyes.
The targets were forced to perform homosexual acts on each other against their will and religion in order not to be beaten or killed. This is a common breakdown tactic of belief systems and the human will. In no-touch torture, the techniques are more psychologically specialized for each target. Most common examples include homosexual targets that are forced with voices that are derogatory to their lifestyle and similar mental images. Almost all targets are forced to view child pornography in their minds. And vice versa is true, that heterosexual targets are forced to view homosexual sexual acts.
I often see highly disturbing pornographic images and videos, including highly disturbing pedophilia type of images.
Occasion, I was told I was going to be shot in the face. And it was an older guy. He was like really, really disgruntled and pissed off. Yeah, you're going to get shot in the face. You know, sound like an angry ass old person. You know, then a couple of days later, a female said the same thing. Don't get shot in the face. You know, stupid shit like that. But what I really noticed is with the voice of skull, it's a bunch of females. You know, and I'm like, bro, really? You're not a woman. What